You land at JFK after spending 5 months abroad visiting your family. You walk up to the CBP counter and hand over your green card. The officer runs it through the scanner. A red alert appears on the screen. He looks directly at you. Please step to the side. Your stomach sinks. A second officer approaches with a tablet. Face forward. Stay still. No expression. A photo is captured, but this is no ordinary snapshot. This is part of a brand new system that is quietly catching green card holders off guard. Right now, at airports all over the country. And the vast majority of permanent residents have no idea this is happening. One wrong sentence in the next few minutes could cost you your green card before you ever make it out of the terminal. My name is Tariq, and in this video I'm going to walk you through exactly what is unfolding at U.S. airports under the rules that took effect in late December 2025. Why it puts you at serious risk, and the precise language you need to use to defend yourself. Because what I'm about to share with you typically costs hundreds of dollars in an immigration attorney's office. Let's get into it. What changed in December 2025? On December 26, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security activated a new regulation expanding its biometric entry and exit tracking program. In plain language, every time you cross into or out of the United States, Customs and Border Protection now captures your facial image, not just fingerprints anymore in your face. And they are not asking for your consent. It is required by law. This applies across the board. Green card holders, work visa holders, students, everyone who is not a U.S. citizen. Even teenagers aged 14 and above. Even senior citizens over 79 who were previously excluded from such requirements. There are no exceptions. But here's the critical part that most immigrants miss entirely. This is not simply a security photo. It is a comprehensive tracking system. That facial image gets added to a central government database. It stays on file for 75 years. Every time you enter the United States, date, time, port of entry, all recorded. Every time you depart, same information, permanently logged. The government now possesses a complete automated record of your entire travel history. Why this is especially dangerous for green card holders. Immigration law is clear on one point. You cannot legally abandon your American residence. If you spend too much time outside the country, you risk losing your permanent resident status. The traditional guidance has always been, do not stay abroad for more than 6 months at a time. But in the past, the government actually had to build a case against you. They needed evidence. They needed to question you and evaluate your responses. That dynamic has fundamentally changed. Now the system does the work automatically. The database already recorded that you were outside the United States for 6 months and 10 days. That data appears as a red flag the moment your card is scanned. The officer does not need to investigate. The proof is already sitting on his screen. That is the trap. What is happening right now at U.S. airports? Here is a scenario playing out repeatedly across American airports. A green card holder returns from an extended trip. Maybe they were caring for an elderly parent. Maybe there was a legal matter to handle back home. Maybe time just slipped away from them. They feel comfortable. They have lived in the U.S. for years. They have a green card. Surely this is not a big problem. They hand over their card. The biometric photo is taken. The officer's screen shows outside the United States for 187 days. The officer asks, can you explain why you were outside the U.S. for over 6 months? And this is where most people make a devastating mistake. They panic, they start talking, they explain everything. My mother was very ill. I had no choice. I didn't mean to stay that long. I have a job here. I pay my taxes. I swear I wasn't trying to do anything wrong. Please, I didn't know. Everything you say is being written down. Every single word becomes part of an official record. Without realizing it, you are constructing the case against yourself. Here's why. In immigration law, your intent is everything. If you say, I had to stay because of my mother, the officer notes, Subject cited foreign family obligations as primary reason for extended absence. If you say, right, I was dealing with property and financial matters back home. The officer notes, subject maintains ongoing economic ties abroad. If you say, I didn't realize the 6-month rule applied to me. The officer notes, subject lacks awareness of lawful permanent resident obligations. You are handing them exactly what they need, and because the biometric system already has your entry and exit dates locked in, they do not need anything else from you. The result, your green card is seized. You are referred to an immigration judge to determine whether you abandoned your residency. Your life in America, your job, your home, your family, hanging by a thread in 10 minutes. And what the legal protection you have. Totality of circumstances. Here is the law that works in your favor and why knowing it matters. Simply being outside the United States for more than 6 months does not automatically mean you have abandoned your residence. The law requires authorities to examine the full picture. This is called the totality of circumstances standard. Under this standard, relevant factors include: do you maintain a residence in the U.S.? Are you employed here? Do you file U.S. taxes? Do you have immediate family living in the country? Was there a legitimate reason for your extended absence? And most critically, did you always intend to return? This is your legal shield. The problem is, the moment you start talking too much at the airport, you are handing over details that work against you rather than for you. The CBP officer's role is not to understand your personal situation. It is to enforce immigration law. And with a computer screen already flagging your travel history, their job is significantly easier. Yours just became much harder. The Silent Shield Strategy, your step-by-step plan. You have a legal right to limit what you say at the border. You are not obligated to provide a lengthy explanation for your travel. This is not about being uncooperative. It is about being legally smart. The officer is trained to encourage you to volunteer information. Your goal is to answer only what is directly asked, with short factual responses. No narratives, no emotional context, no detailed explanations. If things escalate, there is one specific request that completely changes the dynamic. I will cover that shortly. Here is exactly what to do. Memorize this. Step 1. At the biometric camera station. Cooperate fully. Do not refuse the photo. As of December 26, 2025, this is a legal requirement. Refusing will result in detention, missed flights, and complications you do not want. Stay calm, face the camera, and let them take the image. Step 2. At the officer's counter, hand over your green card. Answer the basic questions truthfully and briefly. What is your name? Answer directly. Where do you live? Give your U.S. address, one sentence. Where are you traveling from? Name the country, nothing more. No additional details unless asked. Step 3. If the officer asks about your trip length. This is where most people fail. The officer says, I can see you were outside the United States for 6 months and 15 days. What was the reason? Here is what you say. I was visiting family. I always intended to return to my home here in the United States. That is it. Stop there. Do not add anything else. Look at what you just did. You answered the question, you stated your intent, which is the critical legal element, and you did not over-explain. If there are follow-up questions, why were you gone for such a long period? Your response is, family circumstances required my presence. My permanent residence is here in the United States, and I maintained my ties here throughout. If the officer asks what ties, and only if it is true, you can state, I maintain a home here, I file U.S. taxes, and I am employed in the United States. Step 4. If the officer starts taking notes. This is a warning sign he is building a file. Stay composed. Do not let panic take over. Do not start volunteering explanations. If he says, "Bone, I need to send you to secondary inspection," your response is, "I understand. Before answering any additional questions, I would like to speak with a supervisor or have access to legal counsel." This sentence is powerful. You have not refused anything. You have not been dishonest. You have simply exercised your right to seek guidance before proceeding further. Step 5. In secondary inspection. The stakes are higher here. Officers may present you with a document that states you are voluntarily surrendering your green card. Do not sign anything without fully understanding it. If asked to sign, say clearly, "I do not wish to abandon my residency. I want to contact an immigration attorney before signing any documents." If pressure continues, repeat that statement. You have the right to legal counsel. Step 6. If they move to confiscate your green card. This is the final line of defense. If an officer tells you they are seizing your card, say the following: "I am requesting a hearing before an immigration judge to contest this decision." This is your right under Section 240 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. They cannot remove you from the country without giving you the opportunity to make your case before a judge. Your green card entitles you to that protection. Write this down. Say it out loud right now. Commit it to memory. I am requesting a hearing before an immigration judge. What comes next? Biometrics 2.0. Let me be completely straightforward about what is ahead. This system is not going anywhere. It is expanding. In 2026, USCIS is adding voice pattern analysis and advanced facial recognition matching. Airport entry and exit data is being cross-referenced with the information submitted in your green card application. If your application stated you intended to reside in the US, but the biometric record shows you spending 8 months per year abroad, manyan, that inconsistency is going to surface. This is Biometrics 2.0. And here is what concerns me most. Many green card holders think the answer is simple. Just avoid traveling. But life does not work that way. A parent falls seriously ill. A family emergency demands your presence. A funeral, a wedding. The moment those situations arise, you are suddenly exposed. And if you have been absent for too long without understanding these rules, you could lose everything you have built here. The system does not weigh intentions. It reads data. 1. How to protect yourself before you travel. If you know your trip will last longer than 4 months, speak with an immigration attorney before you leave. Apply for a re-entry permit. Put together documentation of your ties to the United States, your lease, tax returns, employment records. Do not wait until you are standing in front of a CBP officer with a red light flashing on his screen. Final words. Understanding your rights does not make you difficult. It does not make you suspicious. It makes you prepared. The U.S. government has enormous resources, advanced technology, and thousands of trained officers. What you have is knowledge. And when it comes to protecting your status, knowledge is the only thing that levels the playing field. I made this video because I keep seeing hardworking people lose their green cards over mistakes that were completely avoidable. I keep seeing families pulled apart because someone, in a moment of panic, said the wrong thing to the wrong officer. You deserve to understand what is happening. You deserve to be prepared. So here is what I want you to do. First, share this video with every green card holder in your life. Send it to your family group chat. Post it in your community. This information could genuinely protect someone. Second, subscribe to this channel. Every time a new rule takes effect, a new policy changes, or a new risk emerges, I will be here to break it down for you. Third, if you or anyone you know is planning to travel outside the US for more than 3 months, watch my next video on re-entry permits. The link is in the description. And finally, drop a comment below. Tell me your situation. Are you concerned about the biometric system? Have you been away from the US for an extended period? I read every comment and I create videos specifically to address your questions. The trap is real. The system is watching. But now, you are ready. Stay protected, stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.